All right, so we're going to start, and then hopefully those who were unable to make it today can watch the video or join us for another session. So, hi, my name is Charmy Albrechtson, and welcome to Smart Buddies at Home, our first webinar series. So this webinar will be taking place, it's about 20 to 30 minutes or so. We'd appreciate it if you're joining in to mute your audio. So this is just some small housekeeping things we need to get going. You're welcome to join us in the chat. So if you have any questions, please type them into the chat. And we'll be taking your feedback via our poll system. So please feel free to join us via chat or to answer our poll questions. So as I mentioned, this is the first of many webinars that we're giving. So Smart Buddies at Home is a new project that we put together from the company Smart Girls. And we wanted to make these series so that we would allow parents and kids who are at home due to the COVID-19 crisis to be able to access education, be able to access our product line, and be able to code at home. So we have a special price for the products these days. It's almost 45% off, and these webinars, which are free. Today, April 27th, is our parents information session, where we give you basic information about our product line and give you a little bit of insight into what the app is all about, the Smart Buddies app, and you can download that and start working with it. Then next week, May 4th, we'll actually get started with coding, and you'll learn how to use our Smart Buddies app and go through the tutorial step by step. The week after that, May 11th, we'll have something called Project Shape Up, where you're going to be learning how to code with shapes. Project 2 is Find the Hot Dog, and that's really a fun mission where we've got a mission where you need to find hot dogs in Central Park, and you'll be doing that with your coding robot. And then May 25th, which is the last one in this series, is Project 3. It's dance time. So students will use their coding opportunity, this coding robot, to choreograph a dance. So the goal of today's webinar is to introduce you to our webinar series and to provide parents with a simple and fun and free way for their kids to learn code at home. So you can either decide to take our app and download it and put it on any smart device that you have and teach your kids coding through just the app, or you can connect it with one of our physical robots that we have on sale at smartbuddies.com. So my name is Charmy. As I mentioned, I'm the CEO of Smart Girls, and I created Smart Buddies because my daughter was struggling in math, and I couldn't really find any products that engaged her. Since then, we were on Shark Tank in 2017, and we got a deal with Damon John. We've won several awards. I've done some great TEDx speeches, and and we've taught more than 30,000 kids how to code. I'm pleased to introduce Leslie Fagan. She's a mom also of a 7-year-old, and she understands the challenges of teaching at home. She's a former teacher, and she's an instructional technology specialist in Georgia, a certified Google and Apple educator, as well as an award-winning ISTE EdTech coach. You'll see that she's actually sitting in a kind of fun location, which is a STEM bus that she created, and drives around Georgia, taking you to different schools, visiting different schools, and introducing coding concepts and STEM concepts. So,
hi, thank you, Charmy, for that introduction.
Sure.
I am so pleased to be with you this afternoon, evening. I'm not sure where you are watching us. I'm in Georgia, so I'm on the East Coast. And as Charmy mentioned, I am the mother of a 7-year-old. And like many of you, I know how challenging it can be to have to make sure that your child is getting their education while you're at home. And many of you are probably also working at the same time. So you're trying to manage their work, your work, the household, and keep your sanity. So hopefully by the end of our session today, you will have some tips that will be useful. What I'd like to do right now is to get a feel for who we have with us. So if you could take a moment to answer the question on our poll, and that will be a huge help for us. While you are doing that, I do want to mention that if you have any questions during our webinar, please put those questions in the chat box so that a member of our team can answer them. And also, as Sharmi mentioned, this is the first in a series, so there will be other topics that we will cover as the series continues. Okay, very first thing I'm sure you're asking, what is Smart Buddies? Smart Buddies is a coding program developed for schools which uses a character-based robot and an app to teach coding and an awful lot more. It consists of a character, a Siggy, and the app. Although the app was designed to teach coding in conjunction with the Siggy, it can be done independently. In today's session, we are going to show you how to use the Smart Buddies app to teach the basics of coding. The first thing that we want you to know, and it is absolutely the most important thing that you need to know about coding, coding is simple and coding is fun. Everybody can code. Okay, we're going to start with a simple example of coding. We are going to code our Smart Buddy to go around the perimeter of a 10-inch square. Probably what you're saying is, oh my goodness, that's way too hard. I can't do that because the code that you're looking at right now is JavaScript. And JavaScript is a little bit difficult if you don't know what you're doing. So what we want you to know is that we're going to teach you an easier way to code because we don't want you to start out thinking that this is something that you cannot do because coding is for everybody. This is what we're going to do. We're going to start out with our line-based coding. On your app, you will open it up and you are going to see that there are 6 modes. Today, we're only going to be talking about 5 of those modes. Students are going to choose the path mode and input their code by drawing a 10-inch square on the pad. Then they will press download and they'll see their output. Let's take a quick look at a video and see how the input and the output actually works. They're drawing their square on the screen, pressing download, and the Siggy is in motion. They have been successful. Coding is as simple as an input and an output, and that's great because it's easy, it's fun, and it sends the message that, yes, you can code. We are going to move into block-based coding, which much more closely resembles text-based coding, and it introduces more of the key concepts, which include variables, condition statements, functions, and looping. Let's take a look and see how this works. We'll notice that this is a drag and drop system. In this case, we are going to code our square by setting the variable speed to 50. We're going to forward set to 10. We'll turn it 90 degrees, and then we will loop it 4 times. When we're successful, we'll see that squares have 4 equal sides, and we have 4 90-degree angles in there. So we've learned basic coding, and we've learned about shapes. If you have a Smart Buddy at home, this is something that you can do on the floor with this particular simple project. You can have your child map out a square on a piece of paper, then they can send the code to their Smart Buddy, and then you can also see the 3D power of coding in action. The square on the paper is the exact same thing that we just saw on the app. So again, we have success because we've entered the right values in the app. Let's not get ahead of ourselves though. Line drawing is clear enough, but before we get to block-based coding, we need to learn the basic commands. We are going to go to the tutorial mode on our Smart Buddies app. And we have 10 steps in the app. And these 10 steps are little challenges which, when completed, the student will have learned all of the commands needed to program the Smart Buddy. We're going to look at our app and we will see that we're going to do a basic code. We'll start by moving the blocks to the workspace, enter the code, the numerical values for the speed and the distance, and then we are going to watch our Siggy move on the screen. Immediate recognition happens when we get it right. We can also have our Siggy do the same thing on the floor. And notice that there are also 10 different steps that are on the side of the app. And those 10 different steps are the challenges that can be completed by your child at their own convenience. Don't worry if you make a mistake. You will be encouraged to try again, and you will also be given tips to help you be successful. We're ready for the good stuff now. We are going to code and move on to the sandbox. And the sandbox is where all of our coding projects can be done. And in future webinars, we will introduce a number of fun activities, and each of those activities will teach a different coding concept. For example, in our sandbox, this is an at-home challenge that you can do, and you can use the Smart Buddy, and you can also use your imagination to use things that you have around the house. And you'll see that we have boxes that just came out of our pantry to set it up. And in this challenge, what we are going to do is our Smart Buddy, Zara, is at school and she needs to navigate the hallway, go into the gym, and do a little dance. So let's take a quick look at our video to see what we have. We have sent our code. Zara is going down the hall on her Siggy. She's entering the gym, and now she's doing a little dance. That's one of the key elements of Smart Buddies, which is story-based learning. And our studies have proven that our students learn math concepts much better with this particular method. It's a lot more fun, and it makes it clear that coding and creativity fit well together. We've also found that our students love to choreograph dances, and they can create their own moves, or they can use the pre-programmed moves that we have set up in the app. After having completed the tutorial, students will have the ability to complete our mission. And our missions are self-contained exercises where all of the action happens on the screen. We are going to click into the final mode, and you will see that we have 4 missions. Those 4 missions increase in level of difficulty. And this is a fun way to practice the things that you've already learned. We have a little demo, and in our demo, we are going to see that Zara is in New York City. And the challenge that we have is Zara, who is a huge fan of hot dogs, she wants to visit all of the hot dog stands in the city. So what we have to do is we have to program the app to help her find all of the hot dog stands. Once she's explained the mission, your job is to program the blocks with the right speed, the right turn, and the right directions. Don't worry, parents. There is a password protected section, so if you get hung up, you can find the answer so that you can help your student be successful, because we do want you to have the answers. In my job, I am an instructional technology coach. And one of the things that I like best about Smart Buddies is that it teaches coding, but it does it in a unique way, which, unlike any other product that's out there, it communicates that coding is for everybody. and not just those people that have traditionally been represented in the coding field. And as you can see with our Smart Buddies, they are a diverse group of 8 characters. These 8 characters speak to our students because they look just like our students. And when our students see these characters, they say, oh, this could be me, or it could be the boy or the girl sitting in class right beside them. So I do like that about Smart Buddy because they're diverse and it looks like everybody. Okay, every Smart Buddy app comes with their own story. And the story is an ebook that's included right there in the app. And each character has their own book that tells his or her story. These books are leveled for primary and intermediary readers, and your child can pick their own level based on how well they read. These stories are integral to the learning in that they make a direct connection to career pathways. Most importantly, the characters serve as role models because we believe that if you see it, you can be it. Out of all the characters, Zara is my favorite, and not just because I share her love for hot dogs, but Zara, she's a computer genius, she loves to help her friends, and she plays the electric guitar in her band. So as a child, Zara definitely would have been my role model. In Zara's story, she saves the school from a computer virus, but nobody believes that Zara did it. So the reason that Zara is a role model is because she stands up for herself and she challenges racial and gender stereotypes. As a child, I also had to stand up for myself and use my voice to challenge those same racial and gender stereotypes. So that's why I can connect with Zara, and I feel that each of our Smart Buddies, they can be role models for all of our students. So I'd like to thank you for joining us. And at this time, I will turn it back over to Sharmi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. I just wanted to round out by saying that we do have resources on smartbuddies.com. So please go onto our website. You'll be able to download the app from there, and we have it on Android, iOS. We have Amazon Fire, Google Chromebook, pretty much every type of device available. We've got an app for. And you're welcome to also sign up your child for our free webinar series. So we have one coming up next week. And this will be taped, so you'll be able to watch it tomorrow. If you missed today's session, you can view our instructional videos, and we have tons of other videos as well that take you through how to use the app, how to use our instructional curriculum, and get started with coding. So thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it, and it was so nice meeting you all.